It's your old friend Geri Atrik, and it's a beautiful morning here in Litchfield. The other day I went into New York City via train and came out Grand Central on Vanderbilt Avenue, and walked up to 43rd Street and turned left, and this is where the Biltmore Hotel used to be. I began to think about, meeting girls there under the clock. You could always say, well, I'll meet you under the clock. And there was a big cocktail lounge behind the clock, and they had like a banquet of seats where you could wait there, and the girls would, it was like on the second floor, or mezzanine, and the girls would walk up the stairs and say, I wish that was the one I was meeting. But anyway, it was a great place to meet, and they had a violinist, and some guy passed hors d'oeuvres, and maybe it cost 25 cents or something, very little. Well, of course we didn't have much any money anyway, but it was such a fun place, and it was a very safe place for girls to stay, like during the Thanksgiving holidays if they didn't go home, because they had like house mothers on the floor. I mean, we had a desk there, so you're not going to bring boys up to your room. And then at nighttime, that was before the nightclubs would go out, and we used to go to a place called La Rue, and I can remember having my first cocktail called a French 75 there, which was a combination of champagne and brandy, and two of those, and you were flying high. And then there was a place on Broadway, and this was after I worked in New York, and it was called the Metropole, and it faced Broadway, and they always had the doors open, and it was a long bar, and above the bar was jazz bands, and they changed the names of the bands. I mean, they weren't big names, but they were jazz enthusiasts. And one day I went in there after lunch, and you'd buy a beer or something, and I looked up on the stage behind there, and I said, "My God, that guy looks like Dick Wellstood, who I went to Worcester School with." And he looked at me, and he recognized me, and I recognized him. He had been a great piano player at school, and that's what he wanted to do. And there was another guy by the name of Sol Yagin, who was a clarinet player, and he could imitate Benny Goodman. And he was, as a matter of fact, I think he did the clarinet playing in the Benny Goodman story movie. And I read the other day in the paper that he was still playing in New York City. I think it was 95, but and then we all, we get down to Village, Eddie Condon's, Miff Mole, Muzzy Spanier, Pee Wee Russell. They were great jazz players. And then there was another place which was a lot of fun, and this was after World War II, called the Knickerbocker Music Hall. And there was a guy by the name of Paul Killiam, who was a collector of old movies, records, and things. And they would play old movies, and there was chairs, tables. It was like a beer hall. And it was before karaoke. He would put the old music on the screen there, and he'd walk around with his microphone, and you'd you're supposed to follow the dots and sing and so forth. But it was a fun place. And then there was the GA, the German American Club, which was another beer hall where everybody sang and had a good time. So a little reminiscing. Then the Stork Club, we used to go there. P.J. Clark's, end up there, have a hamburger or something, 2 o'clock in the morning. So I'm just thinking about the old days, and that's it for today. Bye-bye.